So, when it comes down to laying down the heavy miles on the long road, well, we all have our reasons. For some, it's a way to truly put themselves to the test, show perseverance, and outride their demons. For others, it's about chasing that sense of adventure, to experience the unknown in that unique way that only motorcycles can provide. And then there are many who do it with a sense of tradition, culminating at notable events that celebrate the bike life. And then, of course, there's some who do this for the unbreakable sense of camaraderie and the memories that will last a lifetime. When it comes to distance riding for me, well, hell, like many of you, probably encapsulates all of the aforementioned elements. Because at the end of the day, this is a lifestyle, not a trend. Without the heavy miles that I've laid down throughout the years, I simply would not be the rider that I am, or the person that I am off the bike. Flexibility, determination, persistence, and preparation. All inevitable lessons of the long road. But now, in the year of 2025, there exists an opportunity to not only reap all of the personal benefits of clocking the heavy miles, but a way to make every mile count towards something greater than yourself. This, of course, is the 2025 Let's Ride Challenge. In this video, we're going to discuss some of the reasons why you should consider joining us this year to truly make every mile count. So first and foremost, every mile in this challenge goes towards raising up to $1 million towards some really fantastic organizations out there. I often take a moment of gratitude, especially during my bike trips, to acknowledge that this lifestyle and these experiences grounded in true freedom could never be possible without those who have risked it all for the sake of others and causes bigger than themselves. Active military, veterans, and first responders, true heroes that I'm honored to have some personal ties with myself. For me, it starts with my great-grandfather who fought in World War I, and of course, both of my grandparents who fought in World War II. In modern times, it's my various friends who are themselves veterans. This is of course Nick, Mark, Jose, and Kevin. It's also, of course, some of my friends who are active first responders, such as Andres. So, being someone who works full-time in a career that's grounded directly in service to this country, the fact that this challenge is centered on some fantastic charities was not lost to me. But however, when I saw one particular charity listed by Harley, well, it just got kind of personal. This charity right here is one from our hometown, led by none other than true local legend Tim Duffy. Tim is that first responder within this famous picture when tragedy struck my city back when I was a kid. When the call came, Tim answered, on his day off nonetheless. The aftermath of this event for Tim was then taking lemons and making lemonade, founding an organization to directly support those who have endured severe trauma, all in the service of our country. When I saw Tim was a part of this, well hell, we knew what we had to do. It was like any standard morning out here in Brooklyn, much sunnier than the other riding footage you'll see in this video. We crushed some pancakes at the usual spot in Brooklyn and started the bikes with one important mission in front of us. The Brooklyn Bridge was majestic as usual, and the mist coming off of the East River would hit us as we pressed through the city. Ripping through the Holland Tunnel and laying down some miles outside the city, we would then find ourselves out in rural Jersey. A beautiful landscape surrounded by horse farms and 80-degree sunny weather. The plan was to ride with Tim and highlight his famous Superglide to help promote his charity and this ride challenge. But unfortunately, he had recently been in a bad bike wreck with that bike a couple months back, so it was kind of out of commission right now. But anyways, handing over some precious cargo from the hometown to Tim, we parked our bikes and had a great conversation.
Did both these bikes come with the fairings? Were they set up? You guys set them up like that? Sweet. Hello everybody, Tim Duffy here, formerly FDNY, Ladder 153 out of Brooklyn, currently the founder, president of One Soldier, One Dog, One Team. Yeah, back in about 2014, 13, somewhere around there, I was working with the Tunnel to Towers organization, traveling the country, when I started on the side doing the pairing the dog thing with the soldiers. And after a little while, the wife was kind of telling me, you got to stop. We can't afford to do this and pay the bills. I'm lucky enough right now and small enough that I have nobody on payroll. So every dime that I take in, every penny I take in goes to the cause, whether it's putting gas in the truck or hooking up a veteran with a dog and food and training. So basically what we do is anybody that reaches out to us, we've never turned anybody away. A lot of these guys are having trouble with the VA and these other the big organizations that get the big money for these $20,000, $30,000 dogs. Totally justified, but a lot of people don't have that. So a lot of these guys are going to the VA for help. They're not getting the help. So they're sitting in the parking lot and eating their gun. So when I heard the number 22 a day, it really bothered me, being a Navy veteran, that 22 vets a day were committing suicide. So I started with one guy and it just morphed. So we're dealing pretty much with the back of the line guys. The big organizations are dealing with the guys in the wheelchairs, missing limbs, rightfully so. But the guys with the PTSD that haven't killed anybody or threatened suicide, they're not being taken care of. So what we seem to have gotten a niche for, which I don't know of any other organization that does what we do, as far as if a guy comes to us where he has his own dog and wants that dog trained, we pick that up and we take those guys and we make them, that's where the whole team comes in. I send them and the dog for training to whatever level of training the guy wants to get to. And that's what we do. We seem to be getting a lot of that kind of work. So these guys, when they contact us, there's no medical visits, there's nothing. If he has a DD-214, which states that he's a discharged veteran, all he has to ask me is, I need a dog, and that's it. And I can't tell you how appreciative the guys are. We don't make them go get doctor's notes. We don't make them go through a year of psychological evaluation. To me, it's simple. These shelters and fosters are full of dogs looking for loving homes. All I need is a guy that wants a dog, and I'm gonna hook him up. I've driven as far as South Georgia to pick up a dog, to drop off to a guy here in Jersey. I've driven to Wisconsin to pick up a dog. I've driven to Wisconsin to drop off a dog. We have soldier and dog teams pretty much all over this side of the Mississippi, Florida, the Carolinas, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, New York, New Hampshire, all over the country. So I don't care where the guy is or what his story is. If he thinks a dog will help him, I'm gonna make it happen. Currently, because of my accident, I'm a little bit of a slowdown. I'm not traveling right now because I can't. So, but as soon as I can get back on the road, I don't care where they are, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna help the guy. So hopefully we can get One Soldier, One Dog, One Team to do 1,000,000 miles, 1,000,000 Harley miles. And if I had my bike, I'd be contributing to that. But until I can get my clutch hand better and I get my bike back, I'm gonna be in a cage.
I remember back when I was recovering from my own wreck, how much it would do for my soul when my friends would roll through with their bikes when I couldn't ride myself. I'm not going to quote exactly what he said, but let's just say Tim was excited and enthusiastic to be around bikes during this hard time. In addition to just getting out there and crushing miles, if you want to support Tim's organization like we have, check out the link in the description. If you're local, he's going to be hosting a ride in late June that we also plan on attending. This is definitely the tip of the iceberg, and we'll definitely be seeing Tim again soon. But anyways, to be able to shake hands and sit down with a true hero and legend has me excited to lay down some miles this year that have true meaning in supporting a cause that is much greater than myself. So for me, part of riding motorcycles is regularly subjecting myself to the hard miles, knowing that this is the only way to become harder and stronger. This means enthusiastically riding through sub-freezing temperatures that will exceed over 105 degrees, and everything in between. When I'm encountering hard situations in life, especially on my bike trips, I often channel the stories that my grandfather would tell me of the many unfathomable obstacles he would overcome as he fought in World War II. For me, these anecdotes stand the test of time and are always enough to get me to push through whatever obstacles I may be encountering, knowing that in comparison, my problems at the time can never compare. One of the inevitabilities of the long road is that the weather is not always going to be in your favor. And when the miles get hard out there, you as a rider have to rise to the occasion and become harder. With that, it was most appropriate to have it be pouring rain and 35 degrees out as myself and Von Gasfalt linked up to make our journey out to the Nassau County Harley Davidson, where we would be completing our registration and laying down the first miles for the challenge. Because in the darkest hours, the true heroes out there never questioned anything, and somehow found the courage to take action. If Tim Duffy was able to hop on his Superglide and show up for his city when it needed him, if Kevin was able to fight overseas to defend the freedom of others, if my grandfather was able to fight, then we, at the very least, could ride through some freezing rain to honor their sacrifices. We would start the bikes, completely defying the elements once again, and ride towards a task most worth doing. In partnership with them, we are currently spearheading 2 performance bagger builds, which I'm excited to bring you a progress video on soon. This is the kind of dealership where no matter how busy they get, will always make time for you and your bike. A dealership that my family has used for decades, and for good reason. It's crazy to think that almost a decade ago, this Dyna that I'm actually on right now began its journey right here on this very pavement. How far both myself and this bike have come. We are welcomed by the good folks over in the service department, making sure that our inspections were up to date, but now it was time to do what we had come for.
So Harley's got their Let's Ride Challenge. It's a free to join challenge, and it's quite possibly the easiest challenge you can do. All you have to do is come in with your bike. We're gonna get your mileage as of that day. That is your starting point for the challenge. So what we're gonna do is between now and essentially Halloween, you're gonna come in and we're gonna keep checking your mileage and add it up. So the best thing about it is you're actually doing a good cause by just riding your motorcycle. Who doesn't like riding their motorcycles? And then you can help some people in need. The best thing about it is Harley is not just gonna be helping veterans, they are also giving away prizes. So the prizes determines also by how many miles you are riding. If I remember correctly, there's 5 tiers. Low mileage guys are going to be in one tier. The really high mileage guys, like 10,000 plus, they're going to be in a tier where they can actually possibly win a CVO Roguelite, if I remember correctly. The guys in the lower tier, I believe they're going to be a Nightster as a prize. And the best thing about it is that prize is done with 2 metrics. The first one is going to be the ride points or the rev points. Rev points you're going to gain by coming into the store, finding me. We're going to add your mileage up, and we're also going to have keywords all over the store. You add these keywords up. There's going to be 3 of them every week. You get more points. When we get towards the end of the challenge, Harley's going to add up your mileages. We're also going to add up your rev points. Each category, the highest mileage rider with the highest point is going to win a bike. So essentially, there's going to be 5 people, 1 in each category, winning a bike, And at the end of the day, we got some veteran charities getting up to $1 million to help a lot of people in need.
With the simple click of a few buttons on their app, that was it. Both of our bikes were registered and ready to go. So with that, we were registered, and now my miles are no longer just miles anymore, but something much, much more. A way to give back and honor our heroes. An added bonus here is depending on how many miles you typically clear, there are prizes you could win within the form of a brand new bike. Both myself and Vong Asphalt easily clear well over 10,000 miles within a given season, so within our bracket, one of us might be coming home with a brand new CVO this October. But again, given what every single mile is going to stand for, prizes or not, everybody wins when it comes to giving back. So on that, despite the conditions outside, throw those kickstands up and hop on over to your local dealership. Get registered, and together, let's crush those miles for a worthy cause. Always honor and support the true heroes out there. Crush those miles regardless of the conditions. And on that, we'll see you at the finish line in October.
Goodbye.